Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch. So as the trading week begins, we've seen over the weekend that Pfizer has shipped its first coronavirus vaccine candidate from Belgium to America, which is part of the Federal Aviation Administration's call of the first mass air shipment of the vaccine itself. So as there are no authorized vaccines in the US just yet, preparations for distribution are ramping up. So under the FDA rules, vaccines cannot be shipped to actual administration sites unless it's licensed or fully approved by the FDA. So basically they're shipping it to certain administration units to make sure that it is ready for when the FDA, or hopefully for when the FDA actually approve and license the vaccination. So they'll be able to send shipments out to different states and those people that need the vaccination the most as the winter months kick in. Currently Pfizer has two plants in the COVID-19 antidote, one in Michigan and one in Belgium. So when might we get a vaccination? When might it be authorized? Well, Operation Warp Speed, which is continuing in the White House, even though the Trump administration is coming to an end, this Operation Warp Speed is still going on, and it plans to begin the first vaccination deliveries within 24 hours of FDA authorization. So very, very positive news, and very, very buoyant news for the share prices as well. Another company that I'm always looking at when I hear about pharmaceuticals or vaccinations or something like that is Teva, because on the flip side, this company has been fined just over 60 million euros by the European Commission for agreeing to delay a cheaper generic version of its subsidiary sleep disorder medicine. The fine is the fourth penalty and the final penalty in the series of EU antitrust investigations, which began 11 years ago. So it's quite an ongoing story in this pay for delayed drug deals that has been going on. Previous fines in 2013 and 14 related to a cardiovascular medicine and a Johnson & Johnson painkiller. So very detrimental news at the moment for Teva themselves, but Pfizer are looking buoyant at the moment. So what we can see from the previous few months, I touched on this last week when a couple of weeks ago when the news came out that Pfizer were actually in the process of, in their last three-phase trial, that they were very, very buoyant about it. So we saw the big push in prices, which is natural when there's such a positive tone with such a demanding vaccination that is required. So we had the pullback, which was obvious that was going to happen. So I'll just zoom into the areas of interest. And now we're getting a bit more of an upsurge. So what I was looking at before, I put in some sell positions when we came down on the previous levels. So I was putting sell positions in here and also in this level as well when we touched at the low, because it was always probably going to retrace down to the gap that it put in on the 9th of November and the week after, when we got a lot of buoyant news on vaccinations as well. So this is the gap that I was looking that it was going to fill, which it did do, and then we had a bit of support. So there's a very nice buy signal in there as well to put in. But now we're going into a bit of uncharted territory now, due to the fact that there is a bit more of buoyant news with the vaccination, but there is a bit of trepidation in the sense that, are we going to see these levels again anytime soon? Well, the answer could be yes. There is a glimmer of hope due to the fact that we're getting a bit more positive headlines over the vaccination in the last few days. And also, when we have weekend gaps based on the weekend's news, the positive news, then there is also room for maneuver. So since we haven't started the session just at the moment, when the session does open, we could expect a bit more of a push to the upside on this level. Whether or not it will get back up to the $38, $39 zone, we'll have to wait and see. But if it does get up to there, then we can put a possible sell stop at some point, because there could be a bit more of a downturn around this area as well. So if we do push up to here, then we can put a sell in to see if it's going to come back down. The reversal is always apparent, especially, and with pending orders are a lot more safe to include and put in. And then obviously if we keep on pushing upwards, then there's no reason why we can't get this previous high level and hit the double top. So this is what I'll be looking for in the next couple of trading sessions. And when it opens today as well. So Teva, meanwhile, not looking so great for them. They've had quite a detrimental downturn, quite a choppy road ahead, and now we're looking at this resistance at the $10 area. You know, with the news that's coming out on other pharmaceutical companies, Teva has taken a bit of a back seat with people wanting to jump on the stock. Bulls have exited the market quite a lot. The prices are trading in the Ichimoku cloud at the moment, so they're kind of being held, but I'm really looking at this $10 range here. It's quite a psychological level, and also just the resistance that we're getting recently at the 986. So again, I'm not really looking at too far ahead with Teva because we're not really getting much in the way of positive headlines. They've had some positivity on the back of recent pharmaceutical announcements with the vaccination progress. But apart from that, the company that itself hasn't really had anything to sink its teeth into. So I'll be looking to see if we can get this $10, possibly get this previous top that we had not so long ago, which is just over $10, and then probably go short on a downturn, and then we'll see what we can do then. I'll be looking at the momentum indicator as well to see if anything apparent comes into fruition. There's a slight bearish divergence at the moment, so you know the likelihood is that it will start its downturn at some point, but we can also keep in mind that we've got this top here at $10 to see if we can put in any buy positions to see what the potentials are. So very, very interesting, the pharmaceutical industry stocks for sure at the moment, and going into the end of the year as well. So I'll probably be touching upon pharmaceutical stocks in the next couple of weeks as well, as we get more and more headlines coming out of everywhere basically. So that's all from the Stock Watch today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to add them to the post, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.